Sulaiman alayhi salam asked one of his ummatis who were one of the very pious of his ummah. He said, is there anyone who can bring me a physical object of Bilqis' throne, which was plus minus 30 meters wide and about 26 meters high? That's how massive her throne was, right? Some say she was from, the Queen of Sheba, as they would call it, right? The species of jinn said, we can bring it, or Ifrit is a species of jinn. Like you have the Chinese, Japanese and so on there, with different features, and they have different capabilities, like same brain but different capabilities, right? Ifrit from the jinn said, I can bring it before your session will come to an end. He said, not good enough. Then, قَالَ الَّذِي آتَيْتَهُ عِلْمٌ مِّنَ الْكِتَابِ, a man who had been granted عِلْمُ الْكِتَابِ, knowledge of the book. He said, I can bring to you the throne of Bilqis, which is so massive, قَبْلَ أَن يَبْتَدَّ إِلَيْكَ تَرْفُ, in a nanosecond, before you bat your eyelid. How can you bring an object from so far into... And he said, this is not a Nabi, this is an Ummati. عِلْمُ الْكِتَابِ وَيُعَلِّمُهُ الْكِتَابِ. We've taught him knowledge of the book. This is cosmic knowledge. The ability to warp time and space. Right? You and I know about E equals to MC squared. Right? And the theory of relativity, right? If you're going this way and you're going that way, how one train feels like it's going faster, but it's going at the same speed and so on. The theory of relativity, right? They go way beyond the theory. The theory of relativity is like, what are you talking about? Are you talking about like class 1, like quantum physics here? What are you talking about? Here, I can bring you things here before you bat an eyelid. And I don't have to like physically do this. Or what about the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Allahu Akbar. He's standing in salah. So many ahadith, I've discussed with you previously, I just want to touch it. Prophet of Allah is in salah, he goes like this. He physically goes like that. And he puts his hand down. Eventually after the salah is completed, Sahaba ask him, Ya Rasulullah, we saw you doing this in salah. Ya Rasulullah, Sahaba, where's your attention in salah? Where's your... Yeah, they're teaching you a lesson here. The Imam that is in the salah is in direct communication with the Lord. So if our attention is towards him, his attention is towards us. You didn't understand that. If we had our attention at that time for the Sahaba, this is not applicable to us, right? If the Sahaba had their attention towards Rasulullah, and Allah, فَإِنَّكَ بِعَيُنَا, Allah said, you are always in my sight, Ya Rasulullah. If the Sahaba are looking at the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where is Allah's attention? On the Prophet of Allah. So who's looking at them then? Allah. The sign saying Urdu, maybe Rais will be one of the wo Allah dekhne walon se juda dekh raha hai. He, Allah, sees differently from everybody else. Khaliq to Muhammad ki ada dekh raha hai. And Allah is looking at every action of the Holy Prophet alayhi salam. Right? Sarkar ki nazrein hai gunahgar pe nasir. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's attention is towards his sinning ummah. Sarkar ki nazron ko khuda dekh raha hai. And Allah is looking at the eyes of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when he look at the eyes of the Prophet of Allah, he sees the sinners there. So the Sahaba came, Ya Rasulullah, we saw you. He said, what happened? He says, no, this is Sahih al-Bukhari and it's a muttafaq alayhi, inshallah. Right? He says, no, while I was in Salah, I was shown paradise. And I saw on the grapevines of paradise, right? This he didn't hear through the grapevine, he saw through the grapevine, right? I saw grapes. And my heart desired to pluck them. So I reached out my hand to go and pluck them. And then I hesitated, realizing that this food and these grapes are from paradise for the people of paradise in the hereafter. He said, so I hesitated and I put my hand down. He said, had I plucked it, my ummah and humanity would have continued to eat from it till the day of Qiyamah. Wait, stop 1 second. Stop right there. Same hadith, a similar hadith. The Prophet ﷺ is in salah, right? He moves back to a point where, you know, it's something like you run back quickly, this one here, right? And the Prophet ﷺ actually taking his clothes like this. Yeah, so what happened? He said, no, Jahannam was shown to me. And I came close to Jahannam. He's standing in Medina. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He's in Medina, he's in salah in Medina. Sahaba can see him. And then we see him moving back. And they actually had to move back because the Prophet ﷺ came back. Right? Right? And then Huzur Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam went, yeah, so what happened? He said, I was so close to the fire of hell that I could see the fire leaping out, and I got worried that my jubba and my cloak will become, the flames of the fire. So I moved back and I moved my kurta back. Here he said, I reached into Jannah. Ya Rasulullah, you in Medina, where is your hand into Jannah there? Where is Jannah? Jannah is beyond this observable universe. Your hand reaches there, Ya Rasulullah. We see your hand here, but your hand has that degree of grasp that is in Jannah. And you have ikhtiyar, you have choice, Ya Rasulullah. You can pluck from the trees of Jannah. You don't have to ask permission from Allah. You can pluck as you would, and if you don't want to, don't pluck, no problem. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What knowledge is this? What knowledge is this? This is knowledge of Quran. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَيُعَلِّمُهُ الْكِتَابِ. Now, a ummati of Sulaiman alayhi salam has this knowledge. So what an ummati of Rasulullah must have then? If this is the kamal and the greatness of an ummati of Sulaiman alayhi salam who's uncovered his human potential, what must be, should be, the spiritual excellence of a man from the ummah of Rasulullah. وَعَلَّمَ كَمَالًا تَكُنْ تَعْلَمُ. And he taught you that knowledge which nobody else could have known. So Isa alayhi salam had cosmic knowledge, ilmul kitab. They could literally bend time and space. Isa alayhi salam says in the Holy Quran, وَنَبِّئُكُمْ بِمَا تَأْكُلُونَ وَمَا تَدَّخِرُونَ فِي بُيُوتِكُمْ. And I can, he's the father of modern security. You know CCTV cameras? Isa alayhi salam. No, I'm giving to you in modern language so you understand. He said, I will inform you بِمَا تَأْكُلُونَ, what you eat and what you store in your house. وَمَا تَدَّخِرُونَ فِي بُيُوتِكُمْ. But Isa alayhi salam, you're sitting in your house, but you didn't really have a house per se. So how do you know what we ate? And what do you know what we keeping, stored in our house? He said, no, Allah gave me the knowledge of CCTV cameras, closed circuit television cameras. I know exactly what's going on in each house. But for the Christians, the father is watching. How did Isa have this knowledge? But if you tell him, no, CCTV camera, people have a camera inside, they can see inside there, they can zoom right in, Google Earth. Google Earth can get into your house, do you know that? Right? As can, today's modern NASA, not NASA, the National Security, NSA. Right? Do you know they have technology, satellite technology that can zoom in right into your house, exactly where you are. They caught hold of, what was his name? Dudayev. No, Dudayev. Khalid bin Walid. He was known as the Khalid bin Walid of the Chechen army. Right? I can't remember his name right now, it come to me. Do you know how they got hold of him? They identified him by the cigarette in his pocket, by the cigarette brand in his pocket. That's how NSA technology is. In America, they're sitting and they can zoom in on a guy, zoom in right into his pocket to see what cigarettes brand he's smoking, to reconfirm that that's the man. And they took him away, put him out, or put him away, whatever it is. So that technology is feasible and it's perfectly fine. But this type of technology, if Anbiya alayhi salam possess it, no, it's a far-fetched story. Isa alayhi salam was given hikmah. Right? He says, I cured the blind, born blind. Ask any doctor, if you are born without an optic nerve, is there any doctor, is there any medicine today, any science today, which can create an optic nerve and connect that nerve from the eye to the brain? If you're born without an optic nerve, tough luck, nothing will happen, you can't see. Your brain may be functioning fine, but because there's nothing connecting the eye to the brain, which the brain sees, you know that the eye doesn't see, the brain sees, right? You can't do anything about it. Isa alayhi salam said, no problem, come by me. No problem, come by me. وَأُبْرِئُ الْأَكْمَهَ وَالْأَبْرَصِ I cure the blind by just placing my hand over it. Khalas, done. No invasive surgery. None of those things. Don't open your eyes like that. They put a needle into the. I know some doctors give me horror stories, right? Then they put the needle into the eye if you have a corneal implant or something, right? None of that. One time, Bismillah, khalas. Okay, that's where technology reached Isa alayhi salam's time in terms of medicine. And he said, but I can do one better than that, right? وَأُحْيِي الْمَوْتَى بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ I can bring the dead back to life again. Not through a defibrillator or zap him like that, then he came. No. Put him in a kabristan first. Put him in a kabristan, bury him 6 feet under there, and I'll stand there by the kabristan and say, Qum biiznillah. With my Qum biiznillah, ruh will come into him. If his body was, his body was eaten and consumed, he gets back to normal again, and he'll come up from it. Isa alayhi salam said, I can do that. Do you know there's a spot on earth, right, where there's a merger of two oceans? If you take a half-eaten fish and you leave it there, if the water just touches it, fil bahri ajaba. That's where Khidr alayhi salam and Musa alayhi salam, half-eaten patkos. It developed bones, it developed flesh, it developed everything. Zzz, went back inside. Where Hisab Kitab? What knowledge is it? Isa alayhi salam, I can bring dead people back to life again. Right? The only thing I can do is have arterial fibrillations for when I see my wife. That's all I can do. I don't know why you guys are laughing. Only the doctors know what I said. Am I right? Doc, am I right? Then my heart goes pitter-patter, like, out of fear.